Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel. Today we have Larry, Carol, Svetlana, and myself, and we have something very exciting for you guys to talk about today. Again, Jerry is the one that got the download of what to talk about today, so I am going to pass this on to Jerry.
Okay, well, that was quick. Well, I was actually learning a little bit more about the origins of the death cult, which is a subject that a lot of people don't want to acknowledge, but it's part of our revealing, it's part of our growth, is to understand the uses of magic and spell casting and rituals. And we all were actually involved in paganism back in the day, working with the plant kingdom, working with nature, and we did a lot of blessings and sacrifices to. It wasn't really a sacrifice. It was it was actually a gift. It was a giving back to the land. So we burned incense, we gave some of our harvest back to the land. So it was like an offering. That's what we were doing back in the day, and we were working with the elementals and such. And some of us got pretty deep into learning about the power of the blood. And I guess when an animal dies or someone passes on, sometimes if a person's very attuned, they can perceive the energies coming in to take all the life force energy from that object. And yeah, and so those little gremlin things that do their job and they take the rest of the life force energy, some of the dark occultists started to work with them, and they started forming different groups, like the Order of the Black Sun, different Skull and Bones, different occult groups and families that began to use the paganism in a way that was very dark. And so they started sacrificing, to a weather god, and they started doing a lot of well, we all did in all different cultures, every single culture. Apocalypto, actually, Mel Gibson movie is pretty revealing on that whole deal. But that's one thing that we have to come to terms with, is that we're dealing with a black cult, and they even just us watching their symbolism. Like, I think recently it was the Charlie episode where they showed it all on national TV. So we're all, by watching this sacrifice, we're all participating to some degree. So it's really quite evident that we all need to call out the death cult that is really, it's marching humanity towards a certain direction if we're not aware. And yeah, so that's really how a lot of them are sustaining their power, is through doing sacrifices. And it's a lot of them. Some of the pagans, they didn't want to get involved in that, and so Christianity was formed, and that was pretty intriguing to some, because that obviously knew that that was wrong, doing that to a sentient being, draining their blood and such. On the Not going to get into any of the really horrific stuff that goes on, but you can imagine there's lots of information out there. So yeah, that's where we are right now as a society. We have to start to come to terms with who a lot of these players are. They're just repeats of the past. So yeah, and that's really what I want to say. Any questions on that or anything, Marcia or Larry, Carol?
It's so aligned with our Samhain season coming up. Halloween is coming up. So there's a reason that all these things just come popping in our mind. So I think it's just something that we should just look into. And then also, it's interesting you're talking about this and how the dark magic and it's playing in the things that we see on the media because the Super Bowl, all these big big events, you know, when you clap your hands, right? You bring in so much energy, even just the clap of the hands like that. It's like bringing in the energy. And so they can use that. 20,000 people doing that at one time, creating all this energy, you can use that. And if you have nefarious agenda, you can use it to your own agenda, right? So then, what else was there?
That's a great example. How about Burning Man too, Marcia? Hey?
Yeah. Remember the Super Bowl thing where it was like a year before COVID, the Pokey Poke? And then they had like a whole bunch of like nurses dancing around children. You can look it up, it's on Google. Dancing around with like needles, and there were kids on the bed and they were dancing. And then, yeah, it was brutal. And it was like a year before the whole thing came on, right? It was the Super Bowl halftime show. So when you have people clapping and so excited about their sports, and then you put in like a weird show like that, it's putting in the energy. We are so powerful in manifestation. You're watching that, and it's putting in the energy for that to happen, right? So we just have to be really careful. And I just also feel I don't watch the news. I do doom scroll, but I don't watch the news. I'm super protected. Nothing can get to me. But like, you got to be like that. You got to know that like nothing can get to you. And even like the people that are sleepy sleepers, um, I really feel that the news really puts spells on people. 100%. We all know that it's energy and frequency. So there's something in there. It's just so weird how people are going so like insane right now on a certain side of like the story. They're not acting in their right minds. And I feel like that is like definitely energetic in some way, right? And so when Jerry brings that point up, it's like, who is it? You know, and just like what do we do to block it, right? Does anybody, I wish Salish was here. um does anybody have ways to block it? I just fill my body with source center vibration. I am filled with source center vibration, my entire body, mind, and soul. If I feel weird, that helps. I start Om chanting. That helps. I put my feet firmly on the ground. I call in my angels.
Yeah,
There's a lot of different ways.
yeah.
Like these things can really help you seal your home, seal your energy. I do not consent to any nefarious agendas. That is not aligned with my highest good. I say that for myself and my children. I can't say that for my husband. He is an adult, right? He has to say that. But I say that as much as I can remember, So yeah. Any other kind of tips and tricks on how to stay sovereign from all this like manipulation, you guys?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know one.
I,
Let's do Larry and then let's do Svetlana. Larry?
yes, yeah. What I'm saying, you really have to learn how to go within yourself, because within yourself is really everything that you need, and we are all connected subconsciously to everyone else. And I like what Jerry was saying. One of the first words he did use was revelations, and we're in a period of revelations. We are transitioning to the age of Aquarius,
Yeah.
and I think that is a feminine age. But as Marcia has said, that you're really bringing both the divine feminine and the divine masculine up together.
Yes. Absolutely.
Svetlana, did you want to say something, Svetlana?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with everything that was said. It's all very helpful, and I also practice that. And there is also one other way. I think it's important to uh, when a lot depends on our beliefs and how we feel about things. So it's important to be able to know yourself, right? So when we have fear about something, and as long as we have that emotional connection to the story, to the whatever's happening around us, or whatever we're hearing and what's going on, if we have fear or negative emotions about that, that creates kind of like a connection between us and that, and it affects us. So for us to not to not have that connection, not allow for that something to, even like a disease or sickness, something, let's say some kind of virus going on around, if we have some kind of fear and we try, okay, I'm not going to get sick and I'll get sick, but we have that inside a little worry about that, it's already bringing up that possibility of us getting sick. So it's important to try to stay neutral and keeping that your sovereignty, as Marcia mentioned. And that way we are also energetically basically break that barrier connection between us and that other thing that might affect us or threatens in some kind of way. There can be many different things. So, but that's where that T3 technique helps basically. So when we find ourselves in some kind of situation that makes us feel uncomfortable, and we cannot just disconnect it, try to be like ignorant, not ignorant, but a lot of times people do try to ignore and okay, doesn't like it doesn't matter for me or something, but it also could be psychologically that you don't want to be avoidant, or you want to be aware of these things. And so basically creating that neutral perspective and staying in your power, that another way is to protect yourself from being affected by that something that's outside of us trying to get our attention in terms of I don't know, there could be so many things, but that's one of the ways to not allow things outside of us to get to our well-being, basically, is to try
Yeah,
to stay neutral, not to have yeah, like not
yeah,
allow fear or worries come in between, because when we have those emotions, those feelings, frequency wise, it's kind of we start to attract that. And we may have that fear based on, let's say at 5 years old you got sick and now you're scared to being sick, something bad happened, you had to go to the hospital, and you have that kind of worry. Or maybe like you like washing your hands 20 times a day, and it's hard to stay neutral when some people around you are getting sick. So in that moment, it's good to, for example, use that T3 technique that we spoke about earlier to clear that painful memory from our subconscious, so it does not affect us in this real life at this moment. So it's easier to stay neutral and be sovereign and not get affected um, by whatever is maybe presented in life. Did I say it? Did I express my like? Did you guys understand what I mean? I feel like I
oh,
spoke a little too much.
yeah,
I feel
no,
like I can speak so much about it. I was trying to put it like in a short amount of time. But yeah, do you have any questions about that? I wonder if I skipped anything out of like trying to save time.
no, it was good. You're muted,
Marcy,
Marcia. Um, it basically, I think what you're referring to is don't be an energetic match to these siphons, these energetic vampires. With having, you need to have good morality, make good decisions in your life. I think that's kind of what you're referring to,
in a way,
Stefan.
yeah, yeah. It can be like a wide area of things. Uh, Basically what we notice about our life, the patterns that arise. Like for me, I had my personal example. For example, I used to not believe in jinx. People in my childhood always, oh, this person jinxed you, you have to like protect yourself, so much information about jinx. And I never felt good about it. I didn't want to believe these kind of things, never. And then some things started happening to me, kind of like, oh gosh, do I need to believe this kind of things, like I kind of like, why is this happening to me? So I went back, I did T3 on that thing, and so it brought me back into that my childhood, that I was surrounded by all that. So a lot of times things that happen to us right now, they are happening because of like our subconscious is so strong and powerful, and it dictates a lot of how we feel about what we do, right?
Yeah.
So it's all connected. And
Yeah, and if we, I say this collectively because we're all learning through these experiences together.
mhm.
If we have bouts of shame or guilt or anything that's magnetizing these lower realm parasites, then there's nothing that the angels of light can do to work with us. We have to be willing to surrender our habits that are not in line with natural law. So when we start to give over the power of and knowing that we can't solve this problem ourselves, and we with sincerity release that to spirit, then the angels can actually start to work with us. And then when our vessel is empty of all the sewage and garbage, then the angels can actually inhabit our bodies and work through us. And that's the power of the Christ, if you want to call it that. So through this time, you can see that a lot of people are still being captured by a lot of the lower realm identification. And so part of this process is to let go of those modalities and coming through. Hey, Marcia, you're back again. Woohoo!
We're getting so much help from the earth. We're getting so much help from source. We're getting so much help from God. We're getting so much help from whatever you want to call that great powerful energy that is guiding and protecting us, right? Like, I was watching a video last night and I was telling the crew about it this morning. I'm going to get them to watch it. But it was like all these energies that are coming in with the comments, like, are we going to accept it? Are we going to take it? So I know for me, I'm having a dinner party on Saturday, and I was supposed to fast and do the social media break, and that's going to start on Sunday. So just a heads up, everybody, I'm going to be off my phone. I'm going to be leaving my phone upstairs. I will check it in the morning and at night, and that is it. Right? I'm going to take a huge break, and I'm going to try to do it for as long as we can so that I can use these energies that are coming in. And
That's,
we also did a
yeah.
meditation yesterday connecting to the comments. So I would really suggest people to go back and listen to that one. I don't know if it's still up. It might be still up.
Hey, Marcia, that's great. That is phenomenal. I think I might take a part of that too.
It's good
When
to-
you're doing a fast, that's actually a sacrifice. That's an offering to spirit, to help cleanse the body, so that way more light can enter you. So kudos to you for that.
And then it also gets us like there's a reason why I almost did the Sundance. I forgot it wasn't the Sundance. It was the one. I have a lot of Aboriginal friends in my old neighborhood, and I was gonna do the 3 days of fasting, no food, no water, and the spirit journey, I think it was. And then there's a reason they do that, no food, no water for 3 days, is that it gets you closer to source, closer to spirit, right?
Is that the resurrect? Maybe that's the resurrection, eh? Is to do the 3 days of fasting. You're
I
No,
think
reborn.
what it does really is during those 3 days, there's such a huge cleanse for the body, such a huge strong support and renewal of the cells. And we are just, because as we talk so much about that already, it's like so much of our environmental and food, so much toxins coming from, even if we eat organic, there's so much, unfortunately, bad stuff for our body that clogs our body and prevents receive that energy, natural energy from coming from universe and connecting us to earth. And during that cycle of renewal, basically 3 days of strong, very strong, like the body is really, 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 it's amazing. Like, gosh, I'm not gonna go too much into it. I'm really passionate about these things, but
You do it
what
with
I
your
see is
stepmom.
literally you becoming such a strong, strong vessel that so much light can go through it. You becoming so much stronger, like an antenna. Like you get a huge upgrade on an antenna, right? What do we have when antenna is surrounded by bricks and slash and garbage and all kinds of things? It doesn't have a signal, right? Like when we get a modem in our apartment, they always saying, okay, put it somewhere, like not in somewhere like in a basement. It's probably not gonna get a signal there, right? Like when you get into elevator, you losing your signal because of all the obstruction. Same our bodies. When we clear out all these heavy metals, toxins, all these things that keep our body sluggish and out of natural rhythm, this what happens. And that's why it's very important to stay healthy mentally, physically. And these days, yeah, I cannot, I'm going towards that. I really want to do fasting too, like um, water fasting for as long as my body going for, but it's really huge, huge, huge boost for um, anyone, not just an energetic, but like cancer cells, like start to die, like anything that does not is not supporting life. And all the micro biome in our gut start to grow so hugely. So instead of drinking probiotics, you just go on fast. It's going to be so much stronger and better for us. And that's where the life is, right? We are the life. So we are starting to magnetize all that.
Well,
That's
why don't we? That was amazing. That was coming up from the above. Why don't we start doing that together? Like, why? If I'm not a perfectionist girl, I'm not saying that I'm going to fast for like 21 days, 3 days even. I'm going to try my best,
But
right?
you gotta listen to your body. You don't go by numbers like that, and your body will
What
tell you.
I'm
Usually,
saying, what I'm
yeah,
saying though is do this with us. Do this with me and Bree and Jerry. We're gonna do our best. We'll start on Sunday and then we'll check in on each other and see how we're doing. And there's no pressure.
yeah,
We do it for the longest we can, right? And yeah,
yeah.
let's just do it together. And anybody out there on Facebook world, let's just do it together. Start on Sunday. Social media break. Try to fast.
I had a dry fast for 3 days. I had it one time, and it was amazing. In terms of energy, clear mind, sharp mind, you want to do just everything, things that, like when you feel sluggish, you have so many things, you don't want to do anything, you don't have like kind of like will, it's so hard to, but once it gives you such a brain clarity and it gives you that motivation, like anything you want to ever did, you just okay, I'm gonna do like a robot kind of in a way, because like you have all that energy back once your body is clear. It's the productivity goes so high, and because you have energy, it's amazing. One thing I heard that usually they advise to have, depending on health condition, they advise have like dry fasting for 24 hours and then continue with water fasting. um so I remember on day third day I was already had like a little bit I didn't feel very good, so I had to start drinking water.
Yeah.
But yeah, just listen to your body. Be careful with that. Don't force it. If you feel like too lightheaded due to lack
What?
of
You mean you
liquid.
didn't have a monster drink?
Yeah.
I did call
Um,
tarot when you guys were talking about the different ways that we can heal and kind of block the energies coming in on the nefarious agendas, all the I believe it's like curses, frequency, vibration, being, it's like a matrix, it's a web. That's what the dome was, right? Trapping all those things, keeping people small, keeping people in fear, keeping people in like lack. So I pulled cards on that when you guys were talking. And I got the Four of Wands first in the recent past. So I feel like this is talking about us as the collective, or light workers, or whatever you want to call people, like people that are kind of aware that what's going on, is that we've been really working hard in trying to keep our light, to keep our center, to stay away from all this, like to stay away from the social media, to watch, not get pulled in. So this card to me says that the work that we have been doing as a collective is going to come to fruition and give us the beautiful landscape that is this card, if you can see it. The Knight of Swords is helping us cut away the mental constraints, and that's us, right? Like and this is what I feel too. It's like, Canada. I'm going to just say a little blurb and try to keep on track here, but like the Knight of Swords is coming to help us be more vocal, to say what we say to help others. But Canada just in Ontario just gave somebody a 9-month sentence for posting a meme. So we have to be careful, right? Like there's other ways to spread joy, love, and light than fucking Facebook. So be careful, everyone. Like Canada is just ridiculous right now. The Emperor is telling us to take our power back, right? Sovereignty, power. And the Queen of Wands is the light. Again, fuck. Excuse me. I'm trying to stop swearing on camera. So masculine, feminine, Emperor. This is like my husband. He's like so level and grounded. And this is me, like just so shiny and just out there. So masculine and feminine. And then this one is the Three of Pentacles. This one is saying to me that what we're doing right now is helping others, and people will reach back, and what we're doing by everybody that is trying to help somebody else and sees the light of service, service consciousness, seeing the light of compassion and the light of love, right? It's helping. So keep doing what you're doing. And we are going on to a new path. We have the Fool, which is part of the Five of Pentacles. So that's a give and take. So this card is reminding us to make sure that we give to ourselves as well as we give to others, right? It's a balance. And then the Six of Pentacles is yeah. It's like people trying to say, can you help us? I guess. I'm not really getting to, this card is not really talking to me right now, but I know it means, can you help me? Right? And this one is, yeah.
Yeah, the 6 is very nurturing.
So can you help me? Right?
Yeah, yeah. Can I go next?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I love what you said there. That's great. So the army, the military, the industrial complex, they are basically cultists, and they are dark cultists. So one of the ways that they stay in power is they need to do sacrifices. So that's really what the military is all about, is doing human sacrifices, and they don't care who's dying, just as long as somebody's getting sacrificed. So that's the way that they're staying in power. And people are, well, the root of it is people just don't they don't want to look, they just want to stay blinded to all this. Some of these magicians, a lot of these cultists, they're women too. Women got a lot of power, so there's not a lot, being that they can hide about that. But they operate with illusionary methods, so they're very sophisticated and very organized, is what they are. They're very, very organized. And but they're gonna have a hell of a fight on their hands, because a lot of them they go psychotic. They go nuts because they're so disconnected from the true essence of who they are. They're some ways we can really feel sorry for them, because they have got so attached to the physical realm and they're using the spiritual realm to try to stay alive in this realm, which is kind of I don't know what's the right word. Somebody want to help me? Disgusting. They're feeding off of other people's life force energy.
Yes,
So
for sure.
yeah. So yeah, so that's the tarot read pretty much says yeah they're getting called out. And the good thing about it's not a doom thing. It's when we have awareness. This is a mental matrix. So once they come out into, and that's what this is. This is exposing this, helping expose this. So this is bringing it into the light, and it gives us consciousness a chance to have a mental vote. Do we want to continue with that sort of action? I highly doubt it if you start realizing the depth of what we're dealing with. But the only way that a person can actually even conceptualize any of this information is to start moving into the essence of who they are. Then they can actually begin to think again. Otherwise, they're still caught in the whole spell casting. And that's why social media and AI is so dangerous right now, because some of the cultists are using it to perform their tricks. So, yeah.
Social media too. So it's also like I don't watch the news, right? But I do social media and I do doom scroll. So that is one of the reasons why I want to take a social media break because I can feel it in my body, right? Hey, do you guys remember Lahaina, the fires in Hawaii? Do you remember how that was on the 8-8 portal?
Yeah, yeah. Well, okay, that's
Yeah.
classic, right? All the like calendar days that they do stuff. Yeah, when you start realizing that, yeah. Look what the Charlie thing was on. What, it was on a new moon, and it was on a solstice thing too, and then it was televised to the. Whenever something's televised, it's like a collective agreement. Like that's why TV is so dangerous. Telling a vision, create our own vision of reality, right?
And it keeps us like entertained. That's another thing. Like we're so entertained with our phones and so entertained with all these like series that we watch. It just takes us away from our inner world, right? Like that's a thing. That's exactly
Sure.
a thing.
Yeah.
You know, and
Sure.
then also like we're so in lack right now. Like
Yeah.
we are, I'm not. We are in so much abundance. So let's cancel
Yeah.
that one right now. But
Yeah.
there's a program.
Yeah. Good save, Marcia. Good save. Yeah. And get rid of the word trying too, right? We're doing. Yeah.
There's a program out there, and we were just talking about it, right? Like it's so hard for people to step away from their day to day, their things to do because we feel like we have to do it to meet the bills, to take care of our family, right? To work and all this stuff. So we were like, oh, I can't do that. It's like so much time and effort. It doesn't take that much time and effort to sit there and to go within for 5 minutes. That's all it is. 5 minutes and then like 10 minutes the next day or whenever you feel like pushing it up to 10 minutes. It doesn't even have to be the next day, but just start, you know? Because like one of the things that we were talking about is how to block these things. And Larry said it's to go within. So give yourself a break and just like do the 5 minutes of breath work and see, just tune into your body. Like start there, just tune into your body, see what your body's talking to you about, right? So
Yeah. Well, the thing too is that these lower forms, they need us. They need our life force. So they really need us. And if we become aware, like what you were just saying, when we become aware, if we're not doing decadence type of behavior, you're not going to be a match. So if you're going against universal law, then these things have free shot at you. And the only way through, and if you do it enough times, you're not just going to get an attachment, you're going to get full on possession. And that's really what they want. Is they can't experience this reality themselves because they don't have a body anymore, so they have to experience it through us. So they need us to go along with what they're, and they love shame. They love putting us into shame.
yeah,
Anything that keeps us in a lower state, lower vibration, is what they want, and then they can attach. But if you're doing some simple exercises, and it doesn't have to be anything sophisticated, it's just more about the intention, then you will have light beings that will, they'll just vibrate those things right away from you.
cats. If you have a cat, snuggle your cat, right? Cats are amazing. they will clear your energy. The dogs will clear the energy in the house because they're so psycho and they run around the house like crazy people. But the cats will snuggle you and just like heal you when you sleep. So use your animal companions to help you do this. But this brings up what Svetlana was saying is that when you attach to the fear, but to the fear agenda, and then what Jerry was saying to the shame agenda, it opens you up, right? So just be the Queen of Wands and the Emperor, and don't just say no. I was just gonna swear. I did good. Just saying no. I'm not going to do that. I do not consent to that. I do not consent to that, and that it just really helps. So I hope you like this video. Does anybody have, if you like this video, please like and share and comment. Let us know what you think, what you want us to pull things on. We're really excited to walk this path with you guys, and we'll see you next time. Does anybody have any words of wisdom to leave the collective with?
Yeah, I think I really appreciate all the words by everybody, and we have to remember that our thoughts and words are very important. And Svetlana said, "Know yourself," but really, we'll extrapolate that: know yourself and love yourself. And she talked about an antenna. Okay, that is antenna. That's a direct connection to spirit. That is all.
Exactly. So good. Anybody else?
I love what Larry said there. Stand in your power of knowing yourself. Get to know yourself better. I love that.
And I love you guys so much. I really, honestly, I just feel so, my heart is so full right now. You guys, you mean the world to me. Svetlana, did you want to say goodbye?
Yes, sure. It was very nice conversation today, and I think it was very interesting and informative. And yeah, staying in our power, raising our vibrations, so nothing yucky can stick to us or get to us and mess with our moods or anything like that. So keeping our bodies clean of toxins, doing detoxes, and putting only good food in it. So it helps to for us to keep a clear mind for us, and yeah, to stay connected and just enjoy the life and stay in our power. Yeah.
And everybody, just a heads up, whoever wants to join us with a fasting social media break and a fasting starting on Sunday, prep for it right now, just mentally, emotionally, and we'll just do our best and just walk the path together. So,
Yeah, just start eating slowly right now already.
yeah,
So not suddenly.
it's
Yeah.
easier than you think, love.
Yeah.
So we'll catch you in the next video. Bye, everyone.